Are you training your kid like they're a mini adult? Stop. Here's a stat that should make every coach and parent pause. Nearly 70% of youth athletes drop out of sports by the age of 13. Let that sink in. And why does that happen? Because too many programs treat kids like they're smaller, less skilled adults, running them through cookie cutter workouts, copying Instagram drills, chasing numbers, chasing sweat. But they ignore the simple truths. Kids aren't adults. They're still growing physically, mentally, emotionally. And when we train them like adults, we're not developing them, we're breaking them down. At Athletic IQ, we flip that model. We slow down to speed up. We're not trying to manufacture early success. We're building long-term development, and it's working. Just last week, we had a parent come in frustrated that a 12-year-old was already burned out. He'd been doing high volume training from an early age, adult style workouts, early morning grind sessions, and now you've got knee pain and zero interest in playing sports. That story is way too common, and it's exactly why we need a different path. At AIQ, we've trained thousands of youth athletes, and we built a system that not only gets results, it keeps kids loving the game, staying healthy, and building skills they'll use for life. It all starts with the long-term athletic development model. This isn't new, it's been around for decades. Most places just don't implement it the right way. Everyone talks about it, but when it comes to the time to train, they're still doing the same thing with a 12-year-old that they do with 22-year-olds. Here's what LTAD means to us. It's about building durable, adaptable, and smart athletes for the long haul, and not just for a highlight reel. It means we're meeting athletes where they are and building them from the ground up. No rushing, no shortcuts, no ego. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start with the roof, you lay a foundation. You reinforce the structure. You make sure it holds up under stress. If you skip steps, you might get lucky for a while, but eventually it all cracks. Now, research backs this up. About half of all youth sports injuries are preventable, and most of them result from improper training or being pushed too hard, too early. So the first principle of our philosophy is to meet them where they are. Every kid is different. Some 12-year-olds have the coordination and the maturity to handle more advanced movement. Others need to master the basics first, and that's fine. We assess each athlete individually, and we build a program that's tailored to where they are, not where the parent wishes they were, or where you, a YouTube trainer, says they should be. Next comes how we actually teach movement. Most places will show a kid how to do a squat and then move on. We don't do that. We use a constraints-led approach, which means we create environments that encourage learning through exploration and feedback, and not just copying. We give them a challenge, a problem to solve with their body. Want to teach a kid to squat? Set up a box behind them. Ask them to reach back to it. Or give them a ball to hold while they're balancing and shift weight. They figure it out. Their body learns. Their brain connects. And it's deeper than just telling. It's learning through experience. This creates something we call movement literacy. They're not just doing movements, they're understanding the movement, and that's a huge difference. The third big piece of our system is how we develop strength. We use a modified version of block periodization. It sounds fancy, but what it really means is we break down strength into phases: general preparation, strength building, power development, that's lowering, isometric, holding, and concentric, lifting. We teach kids to control their tempo, build stability, and absorb force before they start producing it. No maxing out, no chasing big lifts, just quality movement under control with smart progression. A lot of places want to load kids up early. That's short-term thinking. We focus on building capacity and control first. When those foundations are solid, we start layering in more demand. It might look slower on the front end, but the results come faster and safer. Every session has structure. Every movement has intent. Our coaches are involved. We're not just counting reps, we're coaching every rep. We connect with kids, we explain what we're doing, and most importantly, we explain why we're doing it. This is how we create training intelligence. That's the goal. We don't want athletes who need to coach forever. We want athletes who understand how to train, how to progress, and how to take care of their body. That knowledge carries over to college, to adulthood, to coaching their own kids one day. One of the most important things we teach is progression. We don't jump straight to a max effort. We build that capacity first. Just like you wouldn't send someone into a marathon without building their endurance, when you build it the right way, athletes don't just perform better, they stay healthier, more motivated, and more confident. When you train kids the right way, they actually like training. They don't see it as punishment, they see it as progress. They feel themselves getting stronger, moving better, recovering faster, and that gets them hooked in the best way possible. At the end of the day, our job isn't to make kids tired, it's to make them better. That means better movers, better thinkers, better teammates, resilient bodies, sharp minds. People who love to train and want to do it for life. That's why we train kids differently at Athletic IQ. We don't follow trends, we follow principles. We don't copy what adults are doing, we build systems that grow with the athlete, because kids aren't mini adults. They're developing humans and they deserve a system built for them, not recycled from someone else's Instagram. If you want to learn how we train kids for the long-term development and not just for the short-term hype, click the link below, book a call with us, or coming in for a free movement assessment. We'll show you exactly how we work and why it's different. And if this helps shift your perspective, hit the subscribe button, share it with another parent or coach who needs to hear this. We're not here to rush the process. We're here to build it right. One rep, one session, one athlete at a time.